Hello everyone, welcome to Club at 22, the Rangers podcast. My name is Scott Carney and I'm here to bring reaction to Rangers finally appointing a new head coach, and that is Danny Rohl. He has been appointed as the new head coach of Rangers. So yes, I'm here to bring my reaction to this. Just before I do bring my reaction, I'll quickly go through the statement that was released on the website to confirm the news. Rangers Football Club today confirms the appointment of Danny Rohl as men's first team head coach. Rohl was most recently in charge of Sheffield Wednesday and now joins Rangers on an initial 2.5-year deal. Rohl brings experience from some of Europe's top football environments, having begun his coaching career at Leipzig, where he progressed to assisting Ralph Hasenhüttl before following him to Southampton in 2018. He became assistant manager at Bayern Munich in 2019, helping the club win the Bundesliga. The following year saw Bayern retain the Bundesliga and the UEFA Super Cup and FIFA World Club Cup before Rohl and Fick moved to take charge of the German national team. In October 2023, he became a manager for the first time, taking on the job at Sheffield Wednesday in the Championship. They were bottom of the table and winless in the first 11 matches, but Rohl guided them to safety and then a top 12 place finish last season against a challenging backdrop. Rohl will now assume the mantle of head coach at Ibrox. He starts immediately with the first match in charge against Brann on Thursday night in the Europa League. Rohl said it's a huge privilege to be taking on the role of head coach at such an incredible club, recognised around the world. I know it's been a difficult start to the season, but there is still so much to play for in 4 competitions, and my staff and I will give it everything to reward the supporters and the club. The expectations here are clear. The fans want to see results now. My mentality and experience is to think in exactly the same way, and I have belief in the players that we can achieve this. We have no time to waste. We start straight away. I respect that trust is earned and understand we have to give the supporters confidence in what we are doing by showing them on the pitch from the start. The expectations are huge and I love this challenge because I set high standards for myself and the team too. Rangers is built on a tradition of hard work, unity and success. That is exactly what you will get from me and what I want want my team to represent for all of you. I'm looking forward to meeting the squad and getting down to work ahead of Thursday's game against Brann. Now, obviously, it goes on to say other parts that we obviously have comments made by both Andrew Kavanagh and Parag Marat, as well as Chief Executive Patrick Stewart and Sporting Director Kevin Thelwell. I won't go through them all. It is very much as you would expect them to say during the kind of initial appointment. And let's be completely honest, not many people are interested, but Patrick Stewart and Kevin Thelwell have to say about things right now. Not being negative, I'm just being truthful. My initial take on it is thank goodness it's finally done. Thank goodness we finally now have somebody taking charge. The job in front of him has been made even harder than it was initially by the, let's not be coy about it, the farcical recruitment process that this has been for us to get to the point where we have appointed Rohl, with him rumoured to have been now, but it was reported last week that he'd pulled himself out of the running for the job. And obviously when Muscat fell through, we went back to Danny Rohl, and Danny Rohl's the one that's now in charge. Before I come to Rohl himself, the Muscat situation, there's varying degrees of what went wrong. The club saying that it was not the right time for him, for Muscat to come. Muscat's team were saying something of the contrary to that about the recruitment process, etc. The way the control that the manager, the head coach will have over it. You can take what you want to believe in that. And when the club have said obviously they wanted them to start immediately as well. So my opinion on that is it's fell down due to the model that Rangers seem to be sticking to and that they want to stick to. That will have to come from the head owners and work its way down. There's no doubt in my mind, though, that the Rohl coming in the way he has, with him being clearly the third choice now, after the failure to get Gerrard, the failure to get Muscat, Danny Rohl is now the third choice. So the words that are said in the statement that were released by the owners and by Thelwell and by Patrick Stewart don't mean very much to me. And I mean that in the nicest possible way to Danny Rohl, because I am in no way having a go at him. He was quite right, in my opinion, to pull himself out of that and make it almost lay his cards on the table, if that is indeed what happened, because why would you not? Why would you sit and ponder and wait if you're not the guy that the club want? So I've got no disrespect to him for that. It is the way that it's been handled now. If this was done initially, if Russell Martin had been sacked and we immediately brought in Danny Rohl, I think there would be a lot more of a good feel factor around the appointment of it, but it's the way that the last couple of weeks over the international break has transpired, and then cemented by what we've seen from the team in the second half, especially against Dundee United. So Rohl comes in. He is an exciting young coach. He is one that is touted to have quite a big career in the game. He isn't the next Russell Martin, in my personal opinion, on paper. Anyway, he isn't. But he has a job and a half on his hands. He has to now galvanise this support. He has to galvanise the club, and he has to somehow galvanise these players as well. Because based on what we've seen again on Saturday afternoon, especially in that second half, there's a lot of work to be done with this team, who are clearly terrified of any sort of competition when it comes to a game of football. So he's got a big job in his hands, and the way that it's been handled has made the job harder. I don't think once your first two have slipped through the net and you get back to a guy that initially ruled himself out after being interviewed, the hype around the appointment's not going to be massive. However, with him coming in, I'm going to have to give him the backing. We're all going to have to give him the backing. He is the guy now that has ended up with the job, and I think he's a better appointment than Russell Martin is. Famous last words, but I do think he is. I think there's clearly more talent there with Rohl than there is with Russell than there was with Russell Martin, and I think it will be a completely different style, philosophy, whatever you want to call it. My biggest concern is that he isn't quite the leader that we need, and we all feel that we need. We're looking for that figurehead, and he's got a job in his hands to make himself that figurehead. Because right now, the support, even though in this model that we run in terms of head coach, director of football, CEO, whatever, then we would expect, especially the director of football, to show a little bit more leadership in terms of coming forward with different interviews, etc. But I don't have any faith in Thelwell or Patrick Stewart in that regard to really support Rohl. They'll very much leave him out there on his own to get on with this and hope that he can perform miracles, literally, and he gets off to the best possible start. That he is the guy with the magic ingredient to unlock the potential within this team. So, and again, this is all purely my opinion. I'm delighted the fact that we've got there. I'm just a bit disgruntled by the fact that it took the way that it did, the process that we had to follow, the almost circus-like scenes that Rangers did their best to showcase to the world about how we go about our recruitment process for our next head coach. So yeah, I wish Danny Rohl nothing but the best. He's got an absolute task on his hand. He absolutely does. But the board have pretty much took away any sort of little bit of grace that you might have got due to the shambolic handling of this recruitment process. What does it say about Thelwell and Stewart? Not very much, in my opinion. It's probably the guy that they would have originally wanted, because I think it does genuinely look, if you look at the model that Rangers are running and the model that we're going for, he is the guy that fits that model perfectly. He is very much a young coach, very much a head coach. He's not a manager. He's not that style. So the model fits them perfectly. It absolutely fits them perfectly. But I think we are, as a fan base, a little bit less than enthusiastic about the two that are working above him or alongside him, if you want, in regards to that. I think Danny Rohl could, if he gets it right, show some really fantastic football, and there is quite a good bit of kind of hype around him, I suppose. Good reports from him. Not many people are overly negative on him, and I think we as fans, myself included, have to get away from the fact that he's Russell Martin is Mark II, because after I did my homework, I realised that that's not actually the case. If I'm going to be honest, the pick between Muscat and Rohl would have been 50-50 for me. I think both have their but I have reservations about both, and I think I said that on the pod on I think it was Friday evening. I said that I have reservations about both, but I liked the more kind of leader, or at least on the eye anyway, the more leadership skills that Kevin Muscat would have over Danny Rohl. But Danny Rohl might prove us all wrong. I think everything that he said in his statement that was released there is as you would expect. I think he knows fine well that he's coming into literally he's coming into the Bears' den. He really is, and we're in no mood for any lackluster performances, any lackluster results. The task on his hand is ginormous. It really is, and he's going to need to be incredible. He's going to need to be absolutely superb for everyone to get fully behind him. I think I am behind him. I'll go, right, fine, it's him now, and we'll have to go with that. My first choice, you all know, would have been Steven Gerrard, but after him knocking his back, Muscat knocking his back, and Rohl going away and then coming back again, it does seem we've landed with third choice, and that's a little bit concerning for me. I think, as I say, the board can sit, smile, laugh, and have a joke about the recruitment process and how thorough it was, all the buzzwords that you want to hear, but I don't think it's going to quite wash just now until we see what actually happens on the football pitch. There is just no doubt that there's so much work to be done. There is just absolutely so much work that needs addressed, and it needs addressed yesterday. Really needs addressed yesterday. So I'm looking forward to seeing what he does. I'm not going to lie. I think my biggest reservation about him is he the right guy for the job right now? However, who will we left with as well at the same time, considering the recruitment process that we did go on and the failure of the two that we previously mentioned. So you're going to have to give him the benefit of the doubt, I suppose. We're going to have to give him the benefit of the doubt and hope that he is the guy that's going to change the fortunes for us. He's got every chance to be able to do it. I just don't trust the people around about him. Stuart and Thelwell, I think as well, when I feel like I'm going back and forth. The fact that we heard nothing from either of them over these 2 weeks, but as soon as an announcement's made, they want us to sit and happy clap them because they release a wee bit in a club statement. I don't think it's going to wash. I really don't. But again, am I surprised at the lack of self-awareness that they two have based on the previous decisions that have happened at the football club already? No, I'm not. I'm generally not. I think the new owners are probably a wee bit shocked at how this. Well, I would like to think they're a wee bit shocked at how this past couple of weeks has went on. But for Thelwell and Stuart to jump on the bag one and pop their heads above the parapet just when this announcement was made is, in my opinion, a bit of a poor show. It really is. I don't believe that Thelwell deserves to be here. I don't believe that Patrick Stewart deserves to be here. I don't think Patrick Stewart cuts the figure of a guy that particularly wants to be here either. So it's going to be interesting to see what happens. I don't think you would get rid of them two straight away just based on the kind of disruption to the structure that it might bring if we were just immediately to get rid of the both of them. But ultimately, it looks like that they have got the man that probably suits them to the best and the current model that we're running under Thelwell and Stewart. I think it's the guy that they probably look at as the best fit for what they see the plan is going forward. So look, Danny Rohl's going to pretty much have to tear things up and go again. We're going to have to see real change. I think he, based on his words, again, Russell Martin said words as well. Again, I know talk is cheap, but based on his words, I think he, on paper, it looks like he understands it a little bit more than Russell Martin does. The need to win right now is bigger than anything. As Rangers fans, we have to see results and we have to see them right now, especially following on from Saturday where it was just nowhere near the standard that we require as a football team. That second half is just absolutely, it's atrocious. It really is atrocious how bad and how much mentally the team just absolutely collapsed. They really did. And even with Jack Butland coming out and questioning their mentality after it by saying to the media, I'd love to know what goes through some of the guys' heads sometimes. And yeah, penny for all their thoughts, genuinely at times, because we made a real problem for ourselves after being in such control in that first half. And that's the bit that we're going to need to start with initially. This team have to get out of this absolute fragile, pathetic state of mind that they find themselves in when things get 5% tougher than what they were. And I mean, it wasn't like Ibrox was a cesspit or like it was seething on Saturday. It wasn't, but the players on the pitch caused it to be, just by purely just losing their heads and losing their composure. And that's the biggest bit they're going to need to work on. Tactically, Rohl can try and do what he likes, in my opinion, but until he gets the right players in the right positions with the right mentality of, you just need to keep on going and you need to find a way to win games, be it as ugly as you like. We have to start winning football games. Where we are sitting in this league right now is never going to be acceptable. It's not even close to being acceptable considering the amount of money that gets ploughed into the club by fans alone. So quite rightly, we're not really willing to stand for it. So that's probably the biggest task that I see on Rohl's hands right now, is how does he get these players believing in themselves and believing that we play for Glasgow Rangers, we don't play for a mid-table championship team or whatever. You play for Glasgow Rangers, you are expected to win, and if you can't get into your mind that you will get criticised for not winning, then you're not at the right club. So, yes, I went a wee bit around the houses there. I'm more so relieved more than anything else that we have someone now in place. It is farcical that with how the manner and what we've managed to get there, but he is here now, and at least that is something. At least that is something. There's a long way to go for him, generally a long way to go for him, and Thirlwell and Stewart, there's an even longer road ahead for the both of them. We are staring down the barrel of a worst ever league probably performance, and we're definitely in my lifetime that I can remember anyway. And we have to hope that fortunes change and change very quickly. And I wish Danny Rohl absolutely nothing but the best. Generally nothing but the best. I want him to be a massive success here, and I hope he proves himself with us by completely changing things around, and then can move on and go to bigger and better things. But yeah, he's got a long way to go. But good luck to him. It'll be interesting to see how the coaching side, who he brings in, who else is going to be involved. I don't even know if that's been put up yet. I've just quickly jumped on after finishing my dad duties tonight to come on and just bring my reaction to it. So it'll be interesting to see how that shapes up. But yeah, as I say, I'm just finally happy that we've got there. There's now somebody in place, and I say I'm 50-50, but I was 50-50 between him and Muscat, and I would probably be feeling exactly the same if it was Muscat as well. I just think right now the look around the club is not great considering how that past couple of weeks has gone. I would love nothing more than Rohl to hit the ground running. Rangers look like a completely different outfit, and we'll very quickly forget this. And I think for all involved in the hierarchy of Rangers, that's the best possible outcome for them, because they all need to buy themselves some credibility and they all need to buy themselves some time right now, because what we've just witnessed there is pretty ridiculous, let's be honest. But good luck, Danny Rohl. Generally, good luck to you. I hope that you are a roaring success here, and I hope you completely change the fortunes of our club. And yeah, the first game starts against Brann. It's going to be difficult for him to really implement anything over these next couple of days that he's going to have, considering there's going to be travel involved as well, which you would imagine will be on Wednesday at some point. So he's got maybe a full day with the players tomorrow, and that's about it. So it'll be interesting to see what kind of changes he does have put in place really by then. Again, I'm not expecting him to tear things up. He's going to probably have to do things a little bit gradually, but I think he just has to go in and give the players all a big, I was going to say something else, a shake, a proper shake, and a boot in the nether regions, just to get them going, to get them out of this ridiculous rut that they find themselves in and bringing problems upon themselves. There's no doubt that I have real concerns, especially on Saturday after seeing some of the players that were maybe question marks over the top of. Some went down in my estimate. I don't even know how you say that word. Some went down. Some of the kind of ratings that I had for the players definitely went down on Saturday, just by clearly how fast their heads went, and it literally the wheels fell off it. They really did. But it'll be crucial for them to try and battle that out of them, and to try and get them singing from the same hymn sheet and singing for 90 minutes instead of just for doing 45 minutes where you control a game and in the second half you look like you've never seen each other before and can't pass a ball to each other. So it's a big way for them to go, a big way for him to go. I'm looking forward to seeing what he can do. It's him now. Was he my first choice? No, but I was 50-50 on him and Muscat. So yeah, it's Danny Rohl, and yeah, good luck to him. It is a massive game on Thursday. We very much need 3 points in the Europa League to give us any real chance of progression in the competition, and they can tell us that there's 4 competitions alive in this, and there's a lot to play for in these 4 competitions. In that statement, we are very close to being in one, maybe in one, very possibly. So that will do me. As I say, just wanted to jump on and bring and give my reaction. I'm not 100% sure if there'll be a pod tomorrow night, but we'll definitely be back on Thursday with a reaction after the game, win, lose or draw. Thank you for tuning in to me tonight. Please like the video, subscribe to the channel, all the usual stuff, and I will speak to you for definite on Thursday. We are Club at 22, the Rangers podcast. Cheers everybody.